Okay, wait, so hi everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Faith Brunel's Insights. I'm Faith Brunel, and welcome back to yet another video episode where you can see both Omar and I. So, hi Omar, how are you? If you could just introduce yourself briefly to the listeners, that would be lovely.
Hi, Faith. Thank you for inviting me to your podcast. My name is Omar Negm, and I am a future trainee solicitor at Linklated. I'm also the founder and president of the Mentors Collective, TMC, which is a not-for-profit organization that provides mentorship for individuals, aspiring solicitors, essentially from disadvantaged backgrounds.
Wonderful, Omar. Thank you very much for really, talking to us about your journey. And I really want to get stuck into I really want to get stuck into you being the founder and president of this wonderful non-profit organization called the Mentors Collective, or abbreviated to TMC. And I actually want to talk to you about this, but I also want to stem from your journey as a solicitor. You're talking about being, going into an upcoming role as a trainee solicitor at a very top firm, Linklater. So I want to talk to you a little bit about those things today. And in the episode, I want to really delve into that. So let's start without further ado, because there's lots we want to get into. So can you share your journey from being a UCL LLB laws graduate to becoming the founder of the Mentors Collective? So what actually inspired you to establish this wonderful non-profit organization?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm originally I'm Egyptian Canadian. I was living in Canada, and then I decided to study law here in the UK at UCL.
Mm.
Um, while in first year, I did a couple of applications for first year schemes and open days, but those applications were not a huge success.
Right.
I think I submitted around 24 applications, got only
Wow.
4 open days out of those 24. So I took some time to reflect over the summer after first year on what can I change and what needs to change in my strategy and my skills and so on. And I took that lack of success or failure and brought it with the reflection in the next cycle. So I had more targeted way of applying to vacation schemes
Yeah.
and was able to secure 4 assessment centers. In the second cycle, got 2 vacation scheme offers with Linklaters and Deloitte. I did the vacation scheme with both of them. Really enjoyed the experience in both of them. Very different
Wonderful.
types
Yeah.
of firms and type of work. And then I eventually decided to go ahead with Linklaters
Yeah.
to start my training. Right after I got my training contract offer and I accepted it with Linklaters, um, and throughout that journey, I was thinking about the experience that I had to get to that stage, and the experience that many aspiring solicitors are having these days in that journey of getting a training
Easy. Yeah.
contract.
Mm.
So that in that journey, there were lots of people that supported me along the way,
Yeah.
whether mentors or peers. Um, and I made a post after in August 2022. I made a post offering to mentor 5 people as a way of giving back
Yeah.
to that community that supported me. And I received a large number of messages on LinkedIn for people seeking mentorship and support. So it's like, we probably have something in here. We might want to
Expand
scale
it.
this
Yeah.
larger than those 5 people. And this is how the journey of TMC started. So it started onboarding more mentees and more mentors. It started, I think, with 20 mentees and 5 mentors. And now we have grown exponentially to about 225 mentees
Wow.
and 89 mentors.
That is definitely the definition of exponential growth, and you really should be so proud of that. Now, you know what I love about your story, Omar, is listening to you. You know, how you navigated through your own failure, but you said to yourself, "How can I give back?" And that was the term you used. You know, you wanted to give back to others, and so you offer this mentorship. And little did you know that it would actually transform into such a wonderful and popular non-profit organization where aspiring legal professionals can get that advice, get that guidance that, you know, probably, you know, that you wish you'd had maybe when you were applying, and you're, you know,
Yeah.
channeling that. And that's wonderful, really, because I love to see when people are taking their experience of failure and struggling and putting it into something greater for the common good. And I want to just talk to you a little bit about what kind of motivated you, because you mentioned that you're from Canada and you came to study law in the UK, and which is wonderful. That's a very far journey, and I'm glad that you were confident enough to do that. And clearly it's panned out well for you. But I wanted to talk to
Yeah.
you about, because I'm very interested in, you know, the kind of the outset of your journey and what actually motivated you to actually pursue a legal career, and were there any specific areas of the law that particularly captivated your interest, you know, in your studies? Because I know that Canadian law is different to UK law, so could you talk to a little bit about those as well?
Yeah. I think my journey into law was a bit untraditional, compared to many other people who finish A levels here and then go study
Yeah,
law and then become solicitors. My journey started when I studied economics, financial and business economics in York University in Canada. Really enjoyed that subject, and it honed my commercial knowledge quite a lot. And then I went on from that and worked in accounting, did a couple of skill development programs as well with in combination with Deloitte, and with other large organizations in Canada. And did some entrepreneurship in terms of work, and I built another organization in Canada for youth development.
yeah,
So those are this was the background that that started my interest in law. How did that translate into studying law in the UK? I became a bit sick of numbers
yeah,
working in accounting. So I wanted to maintain the commercial aspect of things because I really enjoy it, but I wanted to get it from a legal point of view.
yeah,
I also spoke to a couple of people in the legal field in Canada, and I saw and I kind of assessed my skill set with the skill set that are needed for commercial lawyers. And I found lots of similarities. I found that this will probably be a good career fit for me. So since I started in law school, I was committed to having a career as a commercial solicitor.
yeah,
So I was aware of that commercial aspect. It also makes a lot of sense because it combines both my degrees, right? So the first one is the economics, and then the law at UCL. Combining both of them together was a good experience. I did some legal work in Canada
yeah,
before I embarked on this journey of joining Linklaters. And that work confirmed my interest in law. I found it very intriguing,
yeah,
and intellectually stimulating, and it
yes.
just intrigues
Law is very
intrigued my
intellectually.
interest.
Yes,
Yeah,
I would definitely agree with you. I definitely resonate with that. That law is very intellectually stimulating, because I actually did A-level law. So although I've just graduated with a bachelor's in politics from King's College London, I'm actually an aspiring barrister. So I can understand what you're saying, that you're both you agree they're coming together, and it hones you in even more, because, you know, me studying and reading politics for 3 years really did, you know, it broadened my horizons. It gave me wider knowledge base about what's going on in the world, but from different perspectives. So that when I'm a barrister and we talk about the European Union Brexit, it will be a different perspective as
Yeah.
a politician. And so I can get that. So I completely understand that. And you mentioned a key word of mine, which is very key and dear to the Faith Real Insights brand, which is journey, because our mantra is it's not an event, it's a journey, and your journey can begin now. And talking about how you segued from accounting, and working at Deloitte, and then you moved really, to the UK to study, that is a big step. But I can definitely see that you had the passion and you had the drive really to get there. And I love what you said about success, because I was interviewing you can actually tune in, everybody, to my last interview with Delight Mapashore, and she was basically saying, I'm using her quote today, so I'm not going to use it as my own, but she said that failure is not a roadblock to success. And it really channeled what you were saying, that although you'd had some struggles, and but you'd actually use that for the greater good. And I think I love what you were talking about as well with with the youth development aspect, because there are a lot of transferable skills that you could take from the commercial side of accounting but into the commercial side of law. That really stems into my next question. Now, as being a future trainee solicitor at Linklaters, what key skills and experiences do you believe were instrumental in securing such a prestigious role?
I think law firms are looking for different varieties of skills in candidates. The most obvious one is commercial awareness and their understanding of the commercial world, what is happening with in generally speaking globally, why is it happening, how will that affect clients. So that is one aspect of commercial law, and I made a very long post on LinkedIn about this aspect because it's vague. It's a vague term that is commonly used, so it needs more distilling. That's one aspect. The other aspect is transferable skills, and you can really get those transferable skills from any type of volunteering or work that you do. One of the things that I always say to my mentees is that volunteering is the best way to make mistakes and get away with it. It is the safe environment that you can truly make those mistakes, learn from them. So you don't make them when you're actually doing your work. It is also an opportunity to learn the basic stuff, how to use Word, how to use Excel, stuff like entrepreneurship, how to build a business plan, how to build a marketing plan for yourself, how to make simple designs and get up and running. I think law firms are continuously looking for individuals that are well-rounded. So not necessarily legal experience. So Linklaters, for example, I don't think they are looking for candidates that have extensive legal experience, because they're going to train you either way. Right? They're just looking for potential, and you can show that potential through the different work experience. So if you are part of society in school, then you should be involved within that society and try to get a position within the society. If you have entrepreneurship capabilities and you're able to build a business, for example, or build a not-for-profit organization, go for it. Learn from that experience, hustle, and those are the kind of
attributes,
skills, or attributes that they are looking for. I think they're essentially looking for potential and hunger.
And
those
try,
are the two areas.
I'd say that, from what you just said, basically, it's really like, for me, what stands out is that you have to have a drive and a passion and an interest in what you're doing. It's not about being the most, person who knows everything about the law from A to Z. It's about demonstrating a willingness to learn more. As you said, volunteering is key. I know that for myself, I was advised to volunteer, and I'll be doing some volunteering as well with the Citizens Advice Bureau, because for me, it's about actually understanding, if you're going to work in a particular sector, you have to know what you're walking into. And that's why for myself, I've undertaken a wealth of law work experience, because you have to be aware. What I always say to the listeners, and those who are regular to the show will know, that you have to have work experience. And LinkedIn really is a community of networking. I know that even in your discourse, LinkedIn popped up quite a few times, and it's something that I also emphasize. So I just want to talk to you about that as well. So if somebody wanted to get involved, with the wonderful work that you're doing at the TMC, what is the process by which to do that?
So if they currently we are at capacity at TMC when it comes to mentees. So we
Yeah.
have a waiting list for new mentees. So if anyone wants to join as a mentee, they would just go to our website,
Yeah.
thementorscollectives.co.uk, and they would sign up to the our waiting list. Mentors sign-ups are open throughout the year. So whenever you are ready,
Wonderful.
we're ready to have you. We'll be pleased to have you. And we structure the program. I think this is important to mention. That we structure the program very differently than other mentorship programs, in
Yeah.
the sense that we do not pair mentors with mentees. Instead, we have this grand booking sheet that has the profiles of all the mentors,
Yeah.
their Calendly links, so and their strengths and weaknesses, the firms they have experience with, and it would be up to the mentee to go
And choose
and
the mentor.
talk, yeah, choose the mentor that fits their needs.
Yeah.
And this works really well for our mentees because if you want help with Linklaters, I can help you with Linklaters. But if you want help with another law firm that I didn't have experience with,
Yeah.
then I'm probably not the best person to come to. You're better off going to another mentor that has experience with that law firm.
And yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and in terms of the leadership team, we have now quite a large leadership team. I have about 20 people on our
Wow.
team that
Yeah.
are leading this project alongside me. We have some open roles at the moment, so if you are interested, just get in touch with me and we'll work it out.
Wonderful. And it seems like a really tailored approach as well. It's very specific according to the mentee's needs as well. As you said, they can choose someone who they best feel aligns with their preferences and with their interests as well. Excuse me. So it really seems like you've kind of like transformed that kind of mentorship and done it differently, but it's something that's working for both the mentor and the mentees. And really the aim is to get for the mentees to get everything that they need from this wonderful and streamlined process. And just finally, actually, as we're nearly ending now, I just want to thank you for coming on the Faith Beyond Insights podcast. If you had one tip for an aspiring solicitor or any aspiring legal professional, just one tip, what would it be?
Interesting. I think if someone is aspiring to be a commercial lawyer, I think one tip I would give them is to make sure they understand really well
Yeah.
what is commercial law and how how their work will be and their life will be in the future. Make sure that they are comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that get into this and then they just, it feels like they haven't thought
It's
through
through.
what think through what would be the lifestyle that they're having, because it's a journey, right?
Yeah. It's a
It's
journey.
going to be like the training contract is actually the start of the journey.
Yeah.
It's not the
Not the
end of it.
No.
So it's just making that research, speaking to people, connecting with them, attending events and listening to people speak about it. I think it will give you an advantage, and you will know what you're getting yourself into, essentially.
Wonderful. Networking is key. Well, thank you, Omar. So I'm assuming that if people want to get in touch with you, they can get in touch with you via your website and via LinkedIn. Am I right with that? Fabulous.
That's correct, yeah.
So this is Omar, everybody, who we've briefly spoken to today. Thank you, everybody. Have a nice day. This is your host, Faith Brunel, signing off. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.